Hi. So in this tutorial, we are going to see how the basic concept behind the creating multiple object in the same scene that looks exactly real. So for example, here you can see I just created a nature scene, right? Nature scene includes a few terrain-like structure and a little area where you can see a water, say water is flowing, and apart from that you can see few stones are lying over here, and here we have three different types of plants. One's look like a grass, and second very shiny leaves like shape, and third one is another type of leaf which is not much shiny, right? So this makes things very realistic in the nature field, right? So let's see how actually in the blender we do such stuff, right? So I'm just going to cut it. Just open the blender. I'm using blender 3.1 and go to general. So I just going to delete that. So to create, so understand the basic stuff, what I'm going to do, I just created a plane, press S, top view, then go to edit mode so that we can add some more geometry here. So as you can see, I just added uh, subdivision. Uh, I just divided the geometry here, right? And again come to object mode. So, so to scatter the object around any plane, we actually use particle system, right? So in the particle system, if you use something, so for example, if I go here and select here and click advance, right? So what will happen? You can see the object, I mean, in the hair shape, you can see here, right? But if we wish to replace this object with some cube, so for example, you can see I just selected cube. I'm just going to little scale little bit. I will select this again, and in the render section, we have few options that is useful. So here you can see we have object collections and paths. So you path you see we have hair here. But now if I select object, see the hair gone. It will ask instance object. So which object you actually want to apply. So I just created an object cube. So you can select cube or just click here and just copy it, right? So you can see the object Q is lying here, right? But one more weird thing happened here is that Q in portion you can say half of them going above, half of them going down. But in reality, I expect that this will go something like that. So suppose this one is my plane, so my cube should go like that, but not like that. So why this happened? So the main reason behind is that is the pivot point. So for example, if you go to the cube object which we scattered over the plane and select, you see the pivot point is just middle in the geometry. So the root point that the plane, I mean the particle system captures is actually the pivot point. So for example, if uh, I go to for example, I'm just changing the pivot point area, right? So I just right click, set origin to, suppose I just selected 3D symmetry, right? Now you can see cube is above the plane. So whenever you, I mean, uh, use particle system, you must be careful about the pivot point, because pivot point will be the area through which the root, I mean the origin of the object over that plane will start. So as you can see, cube is now scattered all over the area, right? But what if I want to scatter only the specific region, as in case uh, in our image you saw that This one, I mean, the stone is actually not scattered all over the area. You can see the stones are not here, they are not in this region, but they are just side by side of the canal, right? So how this is possible? So to do that, just delete everything, and but before that I'm going to set the geometry to the origin. So view and select the location 0. So I'm going to delete it, right? Again selecting a mesh, I mean the plane, tab, subdivide, 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 scale it little bit, press 7. So achieve such thing, so suppose right now we have cube, and suppose I'm having UV sphere, scale it much more, GX, right? And now I'm selecting a cylinder too, so scale it material GX, place it over here. So we have three object, right? Now, so to select the particular location for any particular object to scattered over plane, we need to create vertex group. So vertex group will actually area, it will define the area where you will do any work. So for example, I'm just selecting cube VG. I just rename it, right? After that, go to weight paint, right? So here you can see the weight paint. So weight paint will help to select the area where you want to apply that objects. So here you can see in the weight paint we have mode draw, and we have various things. So we will go with is this one. We have weight one means highest density, and if you lower down its density, if you lower down the weight, it will reduce the density area. So we will see later here. So for example, I'm just selecting middle one for example. So suppose I just did this or like that, and if I went here like that, or I just make completely one. So you can see we have three type of basically area: greenish, orange, red, and yellow. So if you from the blue to red, so if you go from blue to red, the density will increase. I mean, blue means no density, green means little bit density of the object, and yellow means further like that. So this is how we generally uh, create the vertex group. So I'm just going to remove the density, you can see, because we will select our particular location. So not to worry about that. Here you can increase the radius too if you wish for the selection. So now weight is extremely high, so I'm just selecting this middle area for a cube. So cube will be available in this region only, right? Because the cube vertex group, I just rename it. Now after that, I'm going to select sphere VG. So sphere VG will be somewhere around here, right? The rough estimation that we actually do, right? And the second one is cylinder VG. So it will be just corner areas, right? Yep, you can increase or decrease as per the need, right? Now from the weight paint, come to object mode. Here in the particle system, you see this select this object, go to particle and create, name it uh, cube particle system. Select here advanced. For now, we are going to go with the object. I will tell you about the collection too. So I just selected object. So what object is cube, right? So you can see even I have created vertex group, but cube is scattered all over the plane, right? So to select the particular area, go to vertex group, select your vertex group. Easy. You can see density is very high in this location. Why this is so? Because our object is very high. So for example, take it 20 or 50 or 100. So you can see the area that we weight painted, we have the cube scattered there, right? Select another whatever particle system, name it sphere. Again, uh, uh, particle system sphere. So here instead of hollow, okay, particle system, select object. Object is sphere, right? Density is the sphere vertex group. What just happened? Okay, not like here. Advance. So you can see sphere is scattering around this thing. Second one is, and the third one is cylinder. Cylinder. Okay, go to here, advance, path, object, and select cylinder. Hmm, what just happened? Uh, remove it. Select this. Select one. Go to here, advance, object is cylinder. Yep, density cylinder PG. So now you can see, okay, now the next question is cylinder is lying horizontally. What if we uh, want to change it? So here we have the rotation. Select the axis, so make it global Y. I mean, you can play around with that. There is no hard and fast thing. Second thing is we have the randomization. So you can increase the randomization portion, especially in the field of rotation. So I mean, if you want randomization in the rotation, you can select it. Otherwise, no need for that. Phase, rotation phase, you can see if you increase or decrease phase, this one is changing, right? So you can do it. There is no, if you want, uh, you can say distribution. So there is a two type of distribution, jitter and the random. So jitter means it will form a line actually as per the vertex. So we have our points around here. So if you go to tab, you can see we all have the points. So if you selected jitter, so object will be lies like in the cube, I mean in the cube format. But if you select randomize, so randomize is something that they will randomize it. They will not form in a queue actually. So this is how they are being used, right? Here scale. Render in the scale, you can increase the randomization in the scale. So for example, if you wish to increase or disc or if you want to see the randomization in the size of the you can see cylinder, so you can select this. So you can see some of the cylinders are very large, some of the very small, some of the medium. So this portion is actually helpful. So now I hope you will must be clear that how actually we scattered object over the plane, right? Now let's see with the real example, I mean where this one is actually being used. So for example, I just delete it, right? And here erase all this like you saw in here. So so to create a like I will say terrain like a structure, you will have to enable some um, add-on. So go to edit preferences, select add-ons and select landscape. So if you select landscape, you will get ANT landscapes. You just check mark that. So by default, I just checked it. So you can check mark and save preferences. So now after that, once you go press Shift A in the mesh portion, here we'll see the landscape. So landscape means it's basically give you which type of land you actually want. So as you can see, this one is looking like mountain shape, right? You can select many options here. Another noise. So you see you have another shape below canyon. So canyon is just looks more appealing, right? So now suppose in the canyon you want to scatter some grass over the plain, right? So I'm just selecting it. So how you will do it, right? So first of all, you will have to decide which area actually you want to scatter the grass. So you just select vertex group, create one group, and you can name it GRASS, right? Now create one more collection because we are going to import grass collection because that would be helpful. So go to file, append an object, right? So here, I mean, I already have few of the models. So that's I download it. So source of plant texture, plant, right? So object. So I just appending something, right? I mean, appending is something that is already explained in my some of my videos, or you already know, I suppose, how you can append any object that is created. So these are the few of the plants that I already appended. I mean, created. Now I'm appending it. So selecting a vertex group, go to weight paint, and suppose some of the area that I want it should has a very high density. It actually these portions. And the top of that, right? Top of that, some of the area. Don't worry about that. If you wish to increase or decrease later on, you can do. It will very flexy here. And these portion will have very high density of such type of plants, right? And the lower portion, I mean this area they will have lower density. So you can you can select that, and suppose the further is the much more lower, so you can again select those portion. There is nothing wrong in that. Now that's totally okay. Now go to object mode, press S7, particle system, again the same thing that we did there, repeat. uh, Instead of object we are going to use collection. I mean this grass collection that we have imported. Select it, select grass collection. See now the that plant is actually instead of grass, I will say that's a plant, not a grass, right? So just selected it and select your density. So grass. So now you can see they are not scattered all over the plane but few of the area where we have used our vertex group. Here increase instead of 1000 make it 20,000 for the higher density, right? Bingo. You can see here, right? If you go to, if you change the mode, and suppose you are not able to see that, so now uh, creating an object, I'm just going to give the color to the mountain. So for example, mountain will be little bit like that. Okay, just happy with that. And now in the particle system, go to particle system, change the instead of jitter, select random, and rotation should be along y-axis. so that its plant look exactly above, right? Hey, you can see, press 0. Oh, my camera is very far from that, so no need to worry about. So now you can see our grass is actually scattered all over the plane, right? And instead of uh, 20,000, if you're not happy with that, you can increase 42, right? And uh, you can also select randomization in the scale. So suppose in the sum portion, if you want a higher scale, and there should be randomization, so you can select 2, right? So you can zoom it a little bit, zoom it. Okay, so it's much more higher, so I'm going to reduce it to again 30. uh, okay, 10. Now you see, congratulations, you have scattered one grass too. Now if you wish to select some other portion for the uh, another vertex group, so select create a vertex group and make it like GRAWS grass 2. Select this object and press go to white paint, right? Press 7. So now suppose you want to uh, scatter the grass in the canyon, another, I mean, grass like thing. Okay, so you can choose the portion where you actually want, if you wish. Okay, so you can define the area for another type of object that you are actually going to apply. So here in our case we are going to do so. All right then, I mean, these are the portion. Okay, we actually cover those areas which are necessary for the camera camera view. Otherwise we do not do that. For time being, I'm just disabling that system so that for our computer can work faster, right? Going to again import, I mean append second thing. So now we were having uh, plant, so this time we will do some grass, right? So object, suppose we want to import all these. Okay, but before that, create another collection, make it grass, right? And now file, append. Okay, I'm just appending this, right? So just G, remove them in the scene. Here create another particle system, here advanced. Same thing, you will have to report collection, and the collection should be grass collection. So see, grass is actually scattered over the plains. Select grass 2. So now your grass will be in that area only. Now we have scale, increase the scale so that at least you can see. Go to rotation, select Y, make the randomization in the rotation if you wish. Instead of 10,000, make it little bit. Oh, that was much. So you can see these grass are actually scattered over the plane. Now if you activate second one too, and go. See, the grass is now scattered. I mean, grass and the plant both are actually scattered over the plane, right? So if you're not happy with the color system, so you can change it. Oh, not surface color, but this one. So I mean, more about the way that looks convenient, or even you can apply texture as well. For the mountain, generally we apply that. So that's totally okay. Just for an example, I just did it. So hope you have understood how we scatter object over any over collection or any object over the plane. Thank you. Bye bye.